Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, the largest international curling event in Canada this season. We're so glad you decided to join us to watch some of the top teams from around the world participate in this event. My name is Jesse Hamonic, and I'm the Vice President and Country Head of Nutrien Ag Solutions Canada. Like farming, curling brings our communities together, and Nutrien Ag Solutions is committed to promoting the diversity of sport within the communities where we work and live. We're so grateful to the Western Showdown team for allowing us to partner with them to bring you this event, and I want to wish you all, the teams, a safe and successful event.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown. We're so glad you've decided to join us to come see some of the world's best curlers participate in this event. My name is Jim Grundy. I'm the branch director for RBC Dominion Securities here in Swift Current. Our branch is not only a huge fan and support of curling in our community, we're also proud to support the 2023 Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Curling Showdown, as RBC is committed to working with our community to promote and celebrate vibrancy in sport in the community in which we live. Thank you to everyone on the organizing committee for putting this great event together, and on behalf of RBC Dominion Securities, enjoy the tournament.
Saskatchewan, you know SaskTel because we're everywhere. Because being everywhere keeps us connected to you. With SaskTel sponsorships, we get to be part of your community. We're here with you, and we're here for you. It's easy to get started. All you need to do is apply. SaskTel cares. Always has, always will. To apply for sponsorship, visit sastel.com/sponsorships.
And a very good morning to you from Swift Current, Saskatchewan. We are here at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, and our feature game for you today should be a very good one. Satsuki Fujisawa of Japan taking on Michele Jaeggi of Switzerland. Team Fujisawa playing the red stones. They've got Hammer here in end number 1. Jaeggi playing the yellow stones. Yurika Yoshida, lead player for Team Fujisawa, gets a chance to throw a hit here in the opening end. Makes the hit, sticks around, and we are underway. Lisa Mumenthaler, lead player for Team Jaeggi. This team from Bern in Switzerland. Part of the absolutely amazing, it seems like it's a factory of fantastic Swiss women's curling teams. Team Terranzoni is also here in Swift Current competing. Current world champions. Yurika Yoshida now throwing a guard. Team Fujisawa coming into this game 2-0. This is a Pool E game. 25 teams competing in the women's event here in Swift Current. Divided into 5 groups of 5 teams. Nice corner guard there by Yurika. Team Fujisawa probably can't clinch a quarterfinal place today, but they can put themselves in a very good position if they can get themselves to 3-0. Stephanie Brissett playing second stone. Irene Shorty playing at third for Team Jaeggi. Stone's into the rings, but it is wide open. Yumi Suzuki playing at 2 for Team Fujisawa. Looking for a little inside flop if she can get it, and she does. Oh, that's a pistol. Great shot from Yumi Suzuki. Fully buried behind that corner guard. Stephanie Burstedt is going to be asked to deal with the corner guard, and that roll just too good. Nice peel there, rolls away. Still might be usable for Fujisawa. Certainly an annoyance. Yumi Suzuki. I seem to say this every time I do commentary on Team Fujisawa's games, but I just really can't get over the incredible efficiency and simplicity of Yumi Suzuki's curling delivery. Corner guard over curls, so probably half available for Michele Jaeggi to have a play at if she wants to. It's just about the dinner hour in Bern. If we have any Swiss fans following along with Team Jaeggi. Here's one of the true great people in our sport, Irene Shori. Kitami Yoshida throwing the hit. I'd like to welcome along on the commentary today,
Hello.
Sam Steep. How you doing, Sam?
I'm good. How are you?
Terrific.
Awesome. Looks like we have a good game.
Well, two really strong teams, that is for sure. Fujisawa coming in 2-0. I did commentary on Satsuki's game against Tab Peterson yesterday, and we kind of had to squeak out the win. They were 2 up coming home, and Tab Peterson put an incredible end together. Satsuki had a tough shot on her last. She had the hammer and nearly gave up the steal of 2, but they got away with it. Every win's a good one, right?
Yeah, it doesn't matter if you win by an inch or you're winning 6.
Full team effort on the sweep. They do get that thing into just biting the front 8. Team Jaeggi line 2. Team Fujisawa with the hammer here in 1. What do you think, Sam? Cross the face, maybe double flop behind the guard. Do you think that's the plan?
It looks like that's it is there for the double and the roll under. I think the most important part is trying to make the roll under and set up for your deuce. Don't necessarily need to make the double.
Yeah, she did a little bit full with this one. Not going to get the roll, just on the beak. Sitting second shot. Potentially a force on the cards here for Michele Jaeggi.
Yeah, unfortunately, nosing there. If you roll just a little bit, the roll under the guards is still in play for your deuce. But now after you get the nose, it's gonna be, you won't be able to make the hit and roll and be shot rock.
And if Michele beaks this one as well, they are going to be really on the fringe of the 12-foot, and might not even be on the rings if she hits high side.
Important to stick around to keep the force in play.
Sweeping for curl. It's going to hit that high side, and it will spill, and it's going to spill off the rings. So a get out of jail card for Satsuki Fujisawa. Be interesting to see if she ignores the counter and uses the corner guards. That's certainly what Shinami Yoshida wants to do.
I like this
seems
call.
to be the play.
Yeah, I like this call a lot. It's a little aggressive in the first end, but the opportunity's there, and there's not a lot of opportunities for deuces in games sometimes, so it's a good call.
Yeah, I agree.
And I assume the skip through the draw of the button for hammer, so I imagine her draw weight's going to be pretty close.
Well, it's something when I'm doing games, you see teams just throwing up corner guards and then later in the end deciding not to use them. You kind of wonder why, right? So you throw up the guard, you might as well use it.
Yep.
So I'm tracking a little bit. We've seen great late movement here in Swift Current.
Oh, wow.
Well by the guard. It's got plenty of weight. It's going to slide deep in the rings, probably back 8. Probably hidden, well, let's see, maybe hidden a quarter. So not perfect, but certainly something that Michele Jaeggi has to deal with.
Yeah, they left it in an interesting spot. It's pretty scary to throw the hack waiter in the first end. It does look like they're going to throw the freeze.
How much can you see? That much. No, you're right, Sam. You jump in the hack there and you think hack, and then you throw hack plus, and all of a sudden it's skating to the backboard, and you're wondering why you dropped 2.
Yeah. Deciding on the hack waiter.
These teams are getting so strong at being able to influence the curl on these downweight shots to the maximum that they can with the brushing.
Yeah. I agree, and it looks like a great surface out there, so ice makers have been doing a good job.
Yeah, and they've been busy, man. Sort of wall-to-wall curling here at the Western Showdown. First thing in the morning to late in the evening, so a hat tip to the ice techs. They do an incredible job, and no rest for the ice technicians in a tournament like this.
Oh.
Weights up a little bit. Now we're sweeping to try and get some curl. Well by the guard. She got a piece. Does get a corner, but it's going to pop in the open. Did she push it away for second shot? I don't think so. I think we've got an open hit for 2 here, Sam.
Yep, it looks like an open hit for 2. The weight was actually quite good. They just couldn't get enough curl there.
Well, just as you said, that first end hack waiter, you're not quite guessing for line, but you're throwing draws in practice, and you're probably not throwing hack weight shots in practice. And if the line's off maybe an inch, that's all it takes.
Yeah, it's not a fun shot to have in the first end of any game. It doesn't
Never
matter
a fun shot, is it?
Yeah. Yeah, so open hit for 2.
Great opportunity here for Satsuki Fujisawa to cash a pair in the first end. Suzuki just keeping it tidy. They don't seem too concerned with it. Still staying on the high side. Aaron Shorey comes out to have a brush. How far is that one going to go? Just hangs around. Well, use all those circular rings for the 2.
Yeah.
So after one end of play, Satsuki Fujisawa puts a 2 on the board. One end in the books here in Swift Current. Fujisawa leads it 2-0.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back to Swift Current. And number 2 underway here between Satsuki Fujisawa and Michele Jaeggi. Pool E game. Team Jaeggi coming into this game 0-2, suffered losses to Robin Silvernagel and Kayla Skrlik. So this is a game that this team really needs. Hans Fraunhoff along with Sam Steep. Sam, best possible start really for Satsuki Fujisawa there in the first.
Yeah, hard to complain getting a deuce in the first end for sure. Backs against the wall for being 0-2 this early in the competition for sure.
I have to say, even though it puts lots of pressure on the teams as a fan, I do like these small pool tournaments because every game's like a playoff game, basically.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
This one is going to slide deep and through, so that's an error from Yurika Yoshida. Yeah. Uncharacteristic.
Very. This is a typical end setup normally. Even up to Fujisawa decided to throw the tight center guard, and we knew the corner guard was going to come.
Lisa Mumenthaler, lead player for Michele Jaeggi. She's going to put the play out to the wing.
Well, if you can get this buried, it's really advantage for Team Jaeggi.
Well, that's a beauty. Fully buried, right on the tee line. Can't throw it much better.
And that darn 5-rock rule means she can't play the run back either. So.
Exactly. You want to pull the trigger? Nope, not yet.
Not yet. It really has changed the second position quite a bit in our sport. And one of the reasons why teams like Carrie Einerson is so good is because they had 3 skips. So they had They have 3 players that can make all the soft shots, and a lot of seconds had to develop that. So,
well, that's a very good point, Sam, and I think you're dead right. And I think you can say the same thing about the lead position as well. Back in the day, you'd have a lead there, but you say, okay, well, throw a couple of guards and you're good, and sweep really hard. And the second stone, you say, okay, if you're a banger, you can just rip stuff, you're good. Not anymore. With the 5 rock rule, placement of the lead stones means that the lead player, for my money, is probably the second most important thrower on the team. If the lead rocks are in bad places, you're hosed. And as you said, now with the 5 rock rule, second stone, it's the same ball game. So if you haven't got 4 players with the full range of shots in this sport anymore, you're going uphill.
It's extremely hard to chase all end. If your lead doesn't have the guards in the right place, all of a sudden you have to make run backs and hack waiters, and it just gets more and more complicated. Unfortunately, this didn't curl up enough.
Yeah, speaking of hack waiters, caught a piece spilled across the top. They do still have a stone partly covered in the back of the 12-foot, but definitely not what they were looking for. Bit of an opportunity lost for Team Jaeggi.
It does seem like if you're just a little bit heavy, the rock is running quite straight. Happened last end as well.
Yeah, the finish is definitely big and late. Yumi Suzuki.
On it right out of her hand.
You can see about a quarter, and she's going to hit about right on the nose. So nice shot there from Yumi.
Oh, interesting they wanted to keep the shooter there. It does give Miyagi a backing for their draw around their corner guard.
Very good point. Stephanie Bursitt will try to do just that. Looking to draw and sit in front of that stone if she can. And here we get an idea of that movement.
Oh.
And get that last bit of finish. That one was actually close to back line. Pushes it about 2 feet.
Looks like Team Fujisawa can see at least half the rock.
Shinami Yoshida. Yumi is a little concerned about the weight. And this one is going to flirt with the guard. Now they're by the guard, but is it going to over curl? No. Keep it to nose. Well swept.
That was great hand signals from the sweeper. It's very important for your skip to know if the weight's down to call line as good as they do. So that was great communication, and that's underappreciative sometimes. So that's great.
Yeah, I've done many games as Irene Shori delivers with Team Fujisawa, and from the very beginning, when you'd ask them, what are they working on? What do you need to work on? The answer is always communication, always. And this team communicates better and clearly and more concisely than I think any team out there.
Yeah.
And it pays off on a shot like that. This one comes up light and will block off the path to the shot rock. So the force is definitely on now for Team Fujisawa.
Absolutely.
What do you like in this situation, Sam? You got your shot rock guarded, but you got that center guard tempting to use.
Yeah, I like this call a lot. Bring the play to the center. Team Jaeggi are going to want to use their corner guards. So if this is made perfectly, they will have to play the short run back. It's never a good feeling throwing a run back when you're down 2.
That's a fact. So Shiami Yoshida trying to use that center guard. Good looking line. They'd love it to sit front button if they could. That is pretty darn good. Showing just a corner on the outturn side. So maybe a chance to chase. Pretty risky though.
Yeah, I don't mind the call as long as, we know that all important tolerance. They're throwing hack weight. They could make the tick and roll under the corner and sit second shot if you don't hit shot rock anyways.
Irene Shorty celebrated a birthday this week. Happy birthday to her.
Yeah, happy birthday.
Well, looks like she's got a piece. And she will get that little flop while she's sitting in front of the shot stone, sits beside it. But a nice shot from Irene.
Yeah, it's a great shot. Have to keep that scoring area open in this situation.
So maybe 2/3 available for Satsuki. Try to gently maneuver these stones around the guards here. Again, the hand signal from Yumi Suzuki saying, waits up. Shinami says, I don't care. We got to get by the guard first. Once again, a good team read.
Yeah.
Conservative line call, but probably a wise one from Shinami Yoshida.
Yeah, no, you don't want to nose that. If you just create a pocket, so it's good to roll away. Again, that outside sweeper calling the weight out of her hand before she starts sweeping is just incredible. It's really important. So good to see. Obviously, one of the best teams in the world. So people are trying to learn from them. That's one thing you definitely want to take away.
Yeah, I mean, full disclosure, I am a big Yumi Suzuki fan. She's got the total game, and she is tiny, right? To me, she is the best example in our sport of somebody, that isn't got big physical stature, but boy, makes a big impact on every aspect of the game. One of the cleanest deliveries out there. Great sweeper, great communicator.
Absolutely.
Terrific player.
They're one of the teams, just like a few of the other Asian teams, that use sweeping differently than in Canada. They do the really fast sweeping, and it is effective. Absolutely, the amount of reps they have on one rock is crazy. This rock is coming a little bit heavy.
Michele Jaeggi on the attempted freeze, maybe 2 feet heavy. So force is on, and now Satsuki Fujisawa can switch her brain to steel. Consider herself front button where they're patting the ice. Make Michelle look at 3 and also think about cutting her down as opposed to trying to score.
Yeah, if you can put this in the full 4-foot biting button, it's going to be really hard to even score one. So,
well, they've seen the path. Shinami Yoshida threw one down here a couple of rocks ago. But they should have a pretty good idea about the line. Second end to play. Last stone of the end for Satsuki Fujisawa of Kitami, Japan. He has a huge following in Japan. Although you'd have to be a real diehard curling fan in Japan to be up at 2:45 in the morning to watch Team Fujisawa.
I was just reading the chat. It does look like there is a few.
I'm not surprised at all.
Fans.
I am not surprised at all. And that stone does come in full 4-foot, hides a corner. So absolutely a force, and there's not really a great place for Michele to put the stone. Try and cut her down, or at least, no, she could still score, but would have to draw a full 4 going away from the button area. Super risky.
Yeah, it's scary to pick the same pass she just threw, just because, you know, if she throws the right weight, it's going to curl a ton at the end. And that's what she's deciding to do. The other port is pretty tight to the buttons, so.
Yeah, I mean, as a skip, I always used to hate having to throw a stone where in the last few feet of the trip, you're actually going away from the pin.
Yeah.
And that's what's going to be happening here for Michele.
Not a shot you practice a lot either, so it is the same one she just threw though, so she should be pretty close to make the adjustment on the weight.
So big stone here early in the game for Michele Jaeggi. Drawing against 3, and she's going to have to put this one right on the tee line, full 4-foot. She's got a very tiny target area to throw to. It's on its way. Mumenthaler and Brissett in charge of the distance. Irene Shori in charge of the line. This one is starting to make a move. That's going to be flirting with that corner guard, Sam. It's all over it, and it's a steal of 3. My goodness.
Well, yeah.
Catastrophe for Team Jaeggi. That one comes up short, clips the guard, steal of 3. So early in this game, after 2 ends of play, Satsuki Fujisawa of Kitami, Japan with a 5-0 lead. We'll be right back.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Welcome back to Swift Current with the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Team Fujisawa versus Team Jaeggi. And after a steal of 3 in the second end, Team Fujisawa with a huge early lead. And Sam was kind of joking during the break there, trying to break out the curling cliches.
Absolutely.
As used to say with our teams, when you drop a big end, well, if you're going to drop a big end, better to do it early. But 5 points, that's a big gap to close, isn't it?
Against one of the best teams in the world, it's a very big gap to close. But never know. You mean all you have to do is string along a couple of made shots, and all of a sudden you score 2, and you can start going on the skill train still early. Unfortunately,
Momentum's a funny thing in any sport, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. Fortunately, the corner guard slipped into the rings, but we got another opportunity here. Lisa.
Yeah, it's tempting. The inexperienced teams would probably say, oh gosh, we have to kind of gamble everything to score a 3 here. But the more experienced veteran teams would be trying to set up for a 2 and kind of create a situation where you can maybe keep 3 alive, but you don't have to press like crazy for scoring 3. Scoring is the most important thing, and scoring a 2 would be good.
Absolutely. It's only the third end. It's a long game if you make it that. So just keep trying to string along made shots and get that draw weight down. That's just the only thing that hurt them in the second end. Oh, well.
And that is really another benefit of both of the 5 rock free guard zone and the no tick rule. You do have a chance to get rocks in play if you're motivated to do it.
Absolutely, yeah. Lisa made the adjustment and made the corner guard, and not surprisingly, Team Fujisawa called this into the top 4 foot.
Yeah, that is an interesting call, isn't it?
Yeah.
Certainly, I think that's certainly a tactic I've seen from Satsuki's team over the years. When they get a decent-sized lead, it's almost always rocks in the rings.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with bringing the play into the rings. You know, I assume they're going to be throwing the peel pretty quickly once they can.
Well, we have reached that moment in the end. Our Team Fujisawa can begin to peel if they want.
Yeah, and we talked about how important leads are. With that first rock sliding into the rings, it's like if the 5 rock rule doesn't matter anymore. It's right back to a 4 rock rule.
Yeah, placement of lead stones so critical.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yumi Suzuki will be asked to peel out the corner guard.
We're going to rinse repeat this shot a few times, I believe.
Oh, I'd say so.
Yeah. Eventually, Team Jaeggi will throw the freeze/hit on the one in the top back 4 foot. But too early for that.
There are rocks to use, very much so.
Yeah.
It's a question of when. Stephanie Bursett will go once more to the well for a corner guard. And the dilemma is always, when do you make that move? You kind of go one more, just one more. It's always tempting to have one more guard, and then maybe it's too late. You can't make the move, and then your opponent puts a cap on it, and all of a sudden your shot's gone.
Yeah. It's where the chess game starts, right? Who's the first to bend in the end?
That's what we love about our sport, isn't it, Sam?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna bet at least one more guard.
All right. If you're following along in the chat, keep score here. Sam and I'll have side bets here on when the moves happen. You can keep score at home. See how we do. Nice peel there from Shinami Yoshida.
Yeah.
And I was remarking when I did their game yesterday, Sam, I've watched this team for many years, and one of the things that is impressive to me from, a team that's improving, it's already a really, really good team, is Shinami Yoshida's upweight shooting. She can now throw big, accurate peel weight, when in the early years of watching this team, I wouldn't say she struggled with that shot, but certainly nowhere near the confidence that she throws the big weight peels now.
Yeah, it's just this guard sliding a little deep. It's crazy how important it is just to practice, right? Like I imagine someone like her she's obviously one of the best in the world now, but it took her years to be able to throw the big weight peel shots, and now she can do it with ease. And, this doubles made, the end is going to be gone.
Well, there's one, too. She stuffs it straight back. So that Yellowstone survives. It is second shot. So a small glimmer of hope now for Michele Jaeggi.
Yeah, you can play the tap and roll under, and all of a sudden you have two buried. Short run backs, but a great scenario for Team Jaeggi. I really like the freeze, and if you end up a little heavy and play the tap, that's fine. If you're trying to bring free into play anyways.
Exactly. You've got a little bit more tolerance there if you think freeze and then sweep for bump.
Yeah, absolutely.
Irene Shori looking around to her teammates saying, do we like this shot? Sometimes you don't even need player mics. You just look at the body language and you know what the discussion is.
Yeah. Well, especially with struggling a little bit with draw weight, it's more of all right, what do I throw? Sometimes
what's the number?
Yeah, sometimes it's so hard when you're struggling to find draw weight to know what kick you're kicking at and where you need to adjust. So
that's a very good point, Sam.
Looks really close.
Yep, that is pretty good.
It's a great shot.
Right on the nose. Half a rock gap.
No
hesitation.
Freeze. Yeah, the only issue with the freeze is Team Fujisawa can just nose it and be shot rock on top of your yellow. And looks like that's what they're calling. You kind of have to take a risk a little bit down 5. So
yeah, you're going to need at least a half miss from your opponent somewhere along the line, really, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
So a couple of options here for Satsuki. As Sam said, she can nose it, get right in front, or she can quarter it and peel them both out. She'll lose a shooter, of course.
I'm a little surprised by the nose call. Like, obviously, it does kind of get you out of the end if made, but probably made perfectly.
Some urgency in the line call from Shinami Yoshida. They just squeak it by that stone in the front ring. It's going to jam. Spills behind that guard for second shot.
A big opportunity for Team Jaeggi now. If we can put it in the top 4 half buried, it's not an easy hit for any. For Team
where the brushes are being placed there in the forefoot.
That's perfect.
This is an idea where they want to go.
Yeah. I'll be able to put it so you can use it, yeah, for 3. Yeah.
And if she does manage to get one in there, even though it would be a short run for Satsuki on the front stone, boy, oh boy, you'd be taking some risk, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you kind of have to play it if this is made perfectly, though. It's or just pick the back one and hope she misses the shot for 3. Yeah, it's not a fun, not fun hoping for a miss. So
exactly, you can only hold your breath for so long. A great opportunity here if Michele Jaeggi can wedge one half around that guard in the front 12-foot. We'll call it a guard. It's in the rings, but they're going to treat it like a guard.
Got confidence-wise, too, after missing the last draw.
Burset and Mumenthal are trying to drag this one around. But this one looks like it's going to come up short. Oh, dear. Hardly covers the shot rock. That's really about the only positive from that shot, but a real let-off for Team Fujisawa.
Yeah.
Looks to me like they're just thinking straight draw here, Sam.
Yeah, there's a lot less pressure now. You can play the hack waiter, but I mean, you put this in the top button buried, you have a pretty good chance of stealing. It's a great call and no pressure. There's really no shot for 3 anymore. So even if you come up late, you're just making her shot for 2 harder. It's a great call.
Needs a piece of the forefoot for second shot. As Sam pointed out, even if it comes up a foot light and sits for third shot, where's the path to the forefoot for Michele Jaeggi? Satsuki Fujisawa trying to keep the pressure on, enjoying a 5-point lead and looking for more. Well by that guard. Really just overcooked that one a little bit,
Yeah,
Sam.
opportunity missed for sure.
Michelle saying, is there a shot for 3 here somehow? Don't think so.
Oh. If the red stayed, a couple inches higher, maybe an inch to the right, probably there for 3, but like we said at the beginning of the end, 2 points is your goal. You don't need to take any risks.
Yeah, that one's kind of Kevin Cooey flat to even think about trying for a shot for 3 here. I completely agree. This is a straight up shot for 2. Right the ship, get a couple of points on the board, reset and go at it in the 4th. So
yeah, absolutely.
Crucial that Michelle converts this one, really.
Should be a little more comfortable throwing the hack the board waiter than the draw right now. So I imagine she's gonna be close.
The final rock of the 3rd end coming up for Michele Jaeggi of Switzerland. Playing a board weight, hack weight. Kind of a hit. Opportunity to score 2, get themselves onto the scoreboard. This one, though, again, starting to move.
Have a catcher anyways.
They do have that catcher. Maybe that shot for 3 was there after all. But it's a shot for 2 and a very important 2 for Michele Jaeggi. They are on the board, closing the deficit to 3. 3 ends in the books here in Swift Current. Team Fujisawa lead it 5-2.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands.
Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlamps. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at letterlamps.com.
And we are back in Swift Current. Glad you're with us at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Our feature game today, Satsuki Fujisawa of Japan and Michele Jaeggi of Switzerland. Team Jaeggi putting a 2-point end on the board there in the third, getting themselves back in the game. Team Fujisawa with hammer here and end number 4. Hans Frauenlob here, along with Sam Steep. And Sam, really important psychologically for Michele Jaeggi to get that deuce on the board in end number 3.
Oh, absolutely. Game-saving shot. Lisa made no mistake of making a perfect center guard on her first rock. So, you know, we talk about momentum, and you just got a deuce. Make your first rock for the end. You know, you just need to make these small baby steps to get back into this game.
Well, lots of beautiful mountains in Switzerland, and there's a bit of a mountain to climb for Team Jaeggi, but as you say, baby steps. Can't climb the mountain in one leap. You got to work your way up that mountain, so maybe that too is base camp and starting to work their way up the mountain.
Yeah, the second guard running a little too deep, but it's going to work.
So center guard stacked, overlapped. In the free guard zone part of the end. Is that in the no-tick zone is the question. Satsuki having a look at that.
Yeah, it's really interesting. You know, if you argue with the other skip, you know, you got to get the projector out, see if it's on the center line or not. It must be on the center line because they aren't playing the tick.
Well, it's been great to see the new kind of measuring equipment come into our sport. You know, with the pregame last stone draw, now you're at international competitions, at least you're measuring the draw to the pin. You're triangulating the measurement because the pin is almost always covered, and now you've got the straight edge projector to figure out if something is on the center line or not. So the officials in our sport, they've got a lot of new kit to deal with.
Yeah, they don't just get to sit and watch the hog line anymore. You know, they have a lot they have a lot of decisions to make. Oh, we love our officials. We love our officials.
Well, absolutely, we do.
Sweepy, we can't be. A couple mistakes from early on with Team Fujisawa on this end.
Yeah, rocks accumulating, and although they do have the hammer, those rocks are accumulating right up the center line, so that will suit Michele Jaeggi right down to the ground.
Yeah, nothing but good news for Jaeggi here. Even if Team Fujisawa can make a double or triple peel, they should have one buried in the top 4 foot after this shot.
Stephanie Brissett. A great opportunity to zip one around the pile. Great looking line. Has she got enough weight to get it full 4 is the question. No, that's perfect. Terrific shot. Game on.
Interesting. If you play the red-yellow, it almost always jams on the rock in the top 12, and she is staying away from that, which is great. It's a good call. Well, we talked about their upweight ability.
Well, she's going to be tested on this one, isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
Yumi Suzuki. Locks and loads. There's 1, there's 2, there's 3. There's lots of rocks in motion, and it's a very different picture all of a sudden. Nice shot there from Yumi.
Great shot.
Move the guard off the center line in the process as well.
Yeah.
Such a weapon when you've got confidence in your second player to get you out of a jam with a shot like that.
Yeah, it's a shot that has been developed the last few years is those runbacks and double runbacks. Especially on the women's side of curling, it's been getting way more and more accurate, and it's really fun to watch.
That's a really good point, Sam, and I'd like to pick up on that. You're exactly right. For a long time, the cliche around women's curling is just, lots of rocks in play, soft taps, but not anymore. These teams at the elite level have got the full range of shots, including using the run back as a weapon, double peels, double clears with confidence, and that's been a real evolution and really another step up in terms of elite level curling in the women's game.
Absolutely, they have it in their back pocket now, and it seems pretty automatic. As this one's pretty close too. Good shot.
Clears a couple. Well, that's true. Going back in history in the men's game, it used to be once upon a time, the big weight run back in the men's game was kind of the preserve of Kevin Martin and Wayne Madon. Nobody else could do it. And all of a sudden, everybody can do it. And in the women's game, it was only Rachel Homan that could throw the big high heater. But now so many athletes have got that full range of shots, and the game is better for it.
Absolutely. Every single top team can make those shots. It's pretty automatic for them, it seems like, and it just goes with a lot of practice and a lot of listening to coaches, and they've done a great job. Another great guard made, so hard on your confidence when the other team's making all these double peels, but to stay focused. But no mistake there by Team Jaeggi.
A very good guard. Perfectly covering shot.
Touch them all here.
True. You get 3/4 the top. Drive yellow onto red and into the shooter. And that would be bonus point category if Shinami Yoshida can pull that off. A little inside out on that one. Just going to straight peel the top stone. It's one bullet dodged.
Yeah, strategy's not too hard for Team Jaeggi. You keep making the guard and hope they miss the double run back. It's all they have left for this end anyways.
Irene Shori trying to defend the shot. Mumenthaler and Bursit onto that one immediately. I think they thought Irene might be a little light out of hand. Now just trying to keep the momentum on the stone, get that thing across near to that center line. They're going to leave a bit of a gap. I don't know if you can get through there on the intern side. I don't think you'd chase it, would you?
Certainly there.
She's having a look.
Pretty risky. If you ever clip the red one on the top 12, then Jaeggi can draw and sit too. There, though.
Playing the entire end, peeling guards, it would be unusual to kind of shift gears now and chase, but well, they're going to have a try, it looks like.
Maybe the hole's a bit bigger than what we can see.
Oh gosh, it doesn't look very big at all.
It doesn't look like a fun shot. No.
So some risk of clipping her own stone and giving Team Jaeggi a real chance to pile on some pressure if she doesn't make here. Oh gosh, how good is that?
Yeah,
how good is that?
Easy. Yeah.
Nami Yoshida making it look easy. I can assure you that was not an easy shot. Team Fujisawa all of a sudden lying 2. Pretty well guarded. They're kind of awkward for Michele to deal with.
Yeah, they're going to have to play the freeze kind of tap. Maybe have a freeze on their last one. That's kind of that guard being so high, it's pretty easy for Fujisawa to chase. So pretty precise shot.
Still marveling at that shot that Shinami threw. My goodness. In turn, zips it through a port, going away from the target rock. Made it look easy. After controlling most of the end now, Michele Jaeggi and company are pacing a little bit here.
They're going for line pretty hard too.
He's going to flirt with that guard. They're by, but is it going to over curl?
And they should almost curl it behind the red one.
It will slide to the back button. It is behind a pile. That is not a bad spot.
That's probably better than the called shot, to be honest with you. You're going to have to play the board weight run back or just try to make the peel. Good shot for Team Jaeggi with Michele struggling with draw weight early. That was probably good for her confidence to make that one.
No doubt. So now all of a sudden, really, for the first time in the game, Team Fujisawa, see the gears turning a little bit now. They're in a little bit of trouble. They do have hammer, of course. So I think the conversation is, all right, guys. We're thinking multiples here, but now maybe it's time to pull the parachute and just think about scoring.
This is the...
I think that's sensible.
Absolute right call when you're up 3 with hammer. Obviously, it'd be great if you could go yellow, red, yellow, and sit 2, but this is a great call because Team Jaeggi won't be able to guard everything.
Didn't exactly convincingly pound that guard out of the way, but she did move it out of the path to the shot rock. Kind of takes away the intern side, though, in the process.
Unfortunately, it took away her draw path. Team Jaeggi almost forced to be second shot here, whether they want to draw or they want to hit and roll. It's up to Michele. They need to get around that one in the top 12.
Really, the options here are kind of just straight draw, Sam. Sorry to interrupt there, but yeah, it's either hit and flop or the straight draw. And which one do you think is the easier play?
Well, the easier shot is probably the hit and roll, and then you take away their slash, or their tap for 1. That's probably the call. And my first thought was drawing full 4-foot, half buried around that one in the top 12. But it does could leave a slash or a hit and roll to buttons. So
the thinking here is a bit of a 2-for-1 situation, isn't it? You kind of make the hit and flop, and that's great. And if you don't make the hit and flop perfectly, then you take 3 out of play as well.
Exactly. If this is made perfectly, Team Fujisawa has to draw pin against 2 in the 4-foot. So.
Got a control weight shot here from Michele Jaeggi. Looking to hit about 3/4 and flop across if he can. Got the tiny inside roll. Needed another rock width, really.
Yeah, that's the one place you couldn't leave it. You do leave a shot for 2 now. If you nosed it, the shot for 2 probably wasn't there, but only rolling about a rock is, it's the just off nose double for 2.
A short double takeout attempt coming up here for Satsuki Fujisawa. Just has to hit just off nose on the high side, and she will be able to cash in the pair. After dropping 2 in the third, a chance now for Fujisawa to get that 2 right back. Well, they call her out of hand. Looked a fraction tight sliding out. No, they missed the double takeout, and they missed the point, so it is a steal of one for Michele Jaeggi. Well, we've got a game on our hands all of a sudden. Fujisawa misses the double takeout for two, a little bit narrow on that hit. Michele Jaeggi with the steal, and after 4 ends of play, it's closing up. Fujisawa 5, Jaeggi 3.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great. Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough? Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet. And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea? Great idea. Let's talk more about next year. I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Well, it's the same for me when I start. Welcome back to Swift Current. Hans Frauenland along with Sam Steep. And we've got ourselves a ball game, folks. Satsuki Fujisawa with a narrowing 5-3 lead over Michele Jaeggi. Steal of one in the fourth, and Sam, was making some bad Swiss mountain jokes earlier on in the game and saying they had a mountain to climb. Well, another step up the mountain for Michele Jaeggi with that steal.
A little closer. Good setup by the leads so far, and Team Fujisawa's lead. Yukara made a great shot in her first one, unlike last end. So she made the adjustment, which is really important. Now her team won't have to chase as much as they did last end.
And if you're thinking about the success formula for Team Jaeggi, if you're going to steal an end, stealing the fourth end is the best end to steal, really, because now they've got two hammers.
Yeah, you don't necessarily need to go super hard this end. You could force and just take your deuce and 6 and force and take 3, and all of a sudden, it's
yep,
easier said than done. But yeah, another great shot. The leads are on fire this end.
Yurika Yoshida half around, nearly biting the front forefoot. Very nice shooting, as you said, Sam, from both lead players. So grab yourself some popcorn because we are setting the table here for another interesting end.
Yeah, I would have liked them play the tap on the one in the top 8 because that, if you think about problem rocks, it's probably your problem rock.
No, that's a good point, Sam. Eminently promotable and usable for Team Fujisawa, eminently annoying for Team Jaeggi if they don't deal with it.
Yeah.
Back in the day, the great Linda Moore used to talk about the control zone, and back in the 4 rock 3 guard zone rule, that control zone used to be the area just in front of the rings. Well, now I think in our game, the control zone is that area just in front of the forefoot.
Yeah, it is. It's tightening up. You know, it probably is. Where the first yellow guard is, all the way to the top of the forefoot is where you want to control, and it's important to. But that was a good miss, leaving their yellow in the top 8. Probably throw a few guards until they decide to play the tap, I guess.
Yumi Suzuki once again being asked to redecorate a little bit here. Peels 1.
Yes, the peel in curling has become statistically the easiest shot in our game now, but it is most important when you're one of the most important shots to have in your bag. So it's good to not miss the easiest shot, I guess, in curling. But
Stephanie Bursitt trying to clog up the arteries again here a little bit. Team Jaeggi in a situation now where force two gets them to an extra.
Yeah, it sounds simple, but it's absolutely the way you have to think about it. I imagine they're going to throw, which was a beautiful center guard. They're going to keep doing that probably until Skip rocks or Vice is last. But important to get the force, so they will have to promote that yellow tap eventually. They keep making the perfect guard.
Real patience game being played here by Michele Jaeggi.
It's the one thing you notice in the elite level compared to maybe the tier 3 or junior level is patience. They've learned the last 3 years of 5 rock rule that your patience is really key to winning the end. You know, whoever's the least patient usually ends up giving up points. So.
In the words of Kenny Rogers, you got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. And you got to really wait your opponent out. This one's going to creep about halfway, but still doing a nice job of covering the pile.
Yeah, a little bit deeper. Team Fujisawa could try and touch all the yellows if they wanted to. Looks like they only called the single peel.
Shinami Yoshida. Oh my goodness. Look out. Hello. Well, that certainly changes the complexion of the end. Whiffs on the hit.
All of a sudden, Team Jaeggi's hitting shot rock, back forefoot, and drawing behind 2 center guards. That unfortunate miss. Team Fujisawa. Yumi.
Great opportunity now for Irene Shorty. We talked earlier in the game, Sam, about that intangible thing, momentum, and kind of you always want it, but it's hard to get it. Well, right now, Team Jaeggi has got some momentum going, and can they maintain it?
Though this is light, yeah, it's still not control zone like we talked about, and still center guard. I don't think Fujisawa's fist bumping to hit and sit 2 right now. I imagine they, my opinion, should still be throwing the peel. You gotta score at this point. You know, a steal is pretty doable right now, so this is a great call.
Yep. Very good point, Sam. Many club skips would say, okay, well, we can just hit that stone in the rings lie too. We're looking pretty good. But as you point out, the danger stones, the stones in front of the rings. No double clear. So not the best end for Kitami Yoshida. Missed the peel on her first and missed the double clear on the second. So the game's still very much on here. Michele Jaeggi. Those two yellow center guards not quite overlapped, but definitely usable.
Yeah, I really like the draw. She did mention the hit and roll. I think that could
If
be a
you're
lack
trying to
of
get a rock to a
confidence.
spot, the
Yeah.
draw is always the shot to play, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially like there's more tolerance if you miss light, you're guarding your shot rock. Where like the hit and roll is a safe call, but you're also still down 2 without. Like yeah. I'd be playing the draw to the top button and putting yourself in a really good place to steal.
Intern side?
Yeah.
Well, they seem to be, after some discussion, they must have been listening into you there, Sam, because they have switched their call and they are going to go to that intern draw.
Yeah, it could have been a lack of confidence too with her draw weight. She's made one last end. She should be able to bring that back to feeling good about this shot.
Well, again, another great cliche in sports, but it's one that I subscribe to. If you're going to be a top-level sports person, you need a really short memory.
Yeah,
and so in the case of Michele Jaeggi, she just has to climb into the hack saying, I'm going to throw this one on the tee line. You have to kind of forget everything that's happened in this game in terms of struggling with draw weight and just blank your mind and just get in there and throw it.
Yeah. It sounds
easy to say. It's hard to do.
Yeah, very hard to do. It's just you got to just ask your sweepers what the time is and throw it. Try to not think about anything else. So, imagine that's what she's doing.
Well, I got a little bit wider in the sheet than we've seen rocks played, so you're out there into that zone where the double might be a little bit different. I want to get this
Really
thing in there for
close.
second shot. It is going to be a little light. Have they got it up there is the question, and no, it's going to be maybe a foot short. That's a shame. Does cover the path to the backstone, though.
Yeah, it's a great shot. Leave, obviously they wanted a top button, but it's tappable. And advantage Team Jaeggi. So much so, Fujisawa's playing the draw around those center guards.
Yeah, it's definitely an awkward thing to deal with for Satsuki on the intern side. Sam, you're right. So she's going to be looking to use her own stone as a bit of a deflector.
Yeah, if it's running a little hot, that's the nice thing about having the red there. They can wick off that and go to the top of the button still. Talk about momentum. This is a big momentum shot for sure to try and stop the comeback.
Yeah, really the first sign of struggles that we've seen from Team Fujisawa in this end. We've seen the missed clear. Satsuki had never a routine double takeout, but a makeable double takeout in the prior end. Missed that. So trying to turn things around here on this shot. Great looking line. Where's the weight? Oh, that is a beauty. Gonna come maybe back pin, back button, but it will stick around for shot. Foot deeper maybe than she would have liked. Has opened the door a little bit for Michele Jaeggi now.
Complimented them so much about their communication, but now it's like that's a miscommunication by the sweepers. They need to wick off that red knowing that it's back button. That is probably the worst place you could have left the rock. This is made, it's an auto steal. Not an easy shot to make though, but yeah.
Well, they've definitely just had the path shown to them, haven't they? So it's really literally follow the leader. Does need to get full button though. Target area is not large for Michele Jaeggi, but it is inviting.
Yeah. We talked about
like a set of landing lights on a runway, really. The guards in the court are telling you exactly the path that you want to go down.
Yeah. Yeah, she absolutely needs to be at least second shot. If she becomes second shot, it'll be a tough deuce for Fujisawa, and they'll get the force that we talked about is still good. But obviously, making the threes is perfect.
Yep, force good, but in this situation, you're probably wanting a little bit more. Michele Jaeggi looking for the pin. Job one, get through the port. This one curling a slightly narrower line than Fujisawa's shot. Are they by? No, they graze the top stone. My goodness. My.
No. The sweepers look pretty hesitant to sweep because it was heavy. So,
Yeah.
Hard to
narrow and heavy on
that.
a touch draw is really tough. And Shinami Yoshida seems to think that they're already lying two.
Yeah, if you're already two, it's up.
You don't
up
even bother
to,
throwing it, really, right?
Pretty tempting to just throw it away.
Yeah.
Not the easiest draw through the port for three. And if it's close, they could have just hit the outside yellow one and make sure they're two, but it does look like they're two already. I guess this separates the pros with the amateurs playing this shot. Yeah.
Well, you tell yourself, okay, we draw the pin all the time in free game practice, and so it's just another draw the pin, just throw it. But again, in the situation where you've already got two in the bag, part of you is thinking, why am I bothering?
Yeah, this is the nail in the coffin, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt. So we believe, but we're not certain, that Team Fujisawa is lying two. They're certainly lying one. So this is either a shot for two or a shot for three. Yurika Yoshida now taking the outside sweep. No problem with the line. Just got a little feather.
Good shot.
And that does creep in there and actually nudges the Yellowstone. So I think we can now say for certainty that is a 3-point end for Satsuki Fujisawa. Taking advantage of that glancing blow on that stone in the front of the 8-foot. Redirects and high fives all around and smiles again on the faces of Team Fujisawa. 3 points on the board. That gives them an 8-3 lead here in Swift Current.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Welcome back to Swift Current. We're at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown in Swift Current. Satsuki Fujisawa of Japan throwing a 3 on the board. And once again, retaining that 5-point lead for that mountain climbing for Michele Jaeggi. Kind of got halfway up the mountain, but then hit a little bit of a rock slide, giving up the 3, and
she
now it's a
fell
5-point
down.
gap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she fell down the mountain. Unfortunately, unless they score 3, tough comeback for sure.
Well, they certainly got themselves into a position where they had the opportunity, didn't they? Really just execution on that attempted freeze.
Yeah, they played 2 really good ends there, and like you said, they had the chance to secure a steal if that freeze is made and be a 1-point game. So, nosing that Rock in the top 12 can act as a corner guard, so they're going to guard it and have a double corner on the same side for Lisa.
Lisa Mumenthaler looking down as she released that stone. I wonder if there might have been some debris under that rock. Bit of unusual eye positioning there as she was getting ready to throw it.
Yeah, sometimes people watch their release, but that looked like she was looking on at the ice.
Yeah.
While sliding. Good multitasker, I guess.
I was going to say, that's hard to do.
Yeah. Well, it's a little deep, but it's still in the guard. Still in the free guard zone.
Yeah, definitely usable. Creates a short run opportunity later. I think Team Fujisawa will be breathing a small sigh of relief. I mean, they've had control of this game, but control seemed to be slipping away. They really dodged a bullet there in the last end, and now I think they might just be thinking, try to keep it as simple as we possibly can.
Yeah, you never think about the next game while you're still in one, but it's probably important for them to try and get their draw weight down a little bit sharper, and probably a good thing that they'll be throwing some peels pretty soon. Interesting call there. Leaving that in the top 8, it's going to act as a guard. Sometimes the less rocks in play, the better when you're up 5. So interesting to leave that in the top 8, but
yeah, great curling coach that my former team used to work with always had an expression, after you score 3, next end I want it to be a frickin' desert, nothing in play. But Team Fujisawa said before, their favorite approach when they have a lead is to throw stones in the rings, but sometimes it can come back to bite you when you're
you never want
defending
to
a lead.
compile them. A nice shot made by Team Jaeggi to kind of show them that was probably the wrong call.
Yeah. That one might come up in the post-game debrief.
Yeah, it's good to learn your lesson right away anyways. Did a hack waiter, and she showed the miss, which was, if you are going to miss, try to split that one in the top 8 foot. So that's good tolerance. Sometimes you need to discuss that before you throw, because it's important to know when you're throwing.
Well, it's a bit like golfers, isn't it? Curlers are the same at the elite level. You've got shot A in mind, but if you're going to miss, you're always going to miss into a good place.
Yeah, and this is a great shot.
Mimi Suzuki once again delivering for Team Fujisawa. Terrific shot.
Yeah, a couple of options for Team Jaeggi. I probably would want them to draw around their corner guard that they threw. I'd draw around the top 8 one as again, but I like around the corner guard because it kind of changes the view in the hack for Team Fujisawa. They're going to have to change they're not going to have the same shot they just threw. You never want to give the curler this exact same shot twice.
Stephanie Bursitt Trying to suck one around those tight corner guards. Boy, that one looks like it must have picked up. That one went sideways.
Yeah, they weren't sweeping it out of her hands, so I didn't think they didn't think it was light anyways.
Really did look like that one grabbed something. Hate to see it, but it is a part of our sport. Does leave another corner guard stacked up.
Yeah, it's interesting that they were looking at guards or taps. I think the peel is probably the call. They're up 5. Just try to keep it simple.
Yep. Every yellow counter that you remove is a counter that can't possibly score a point. It's the top one clean.
Yeah, well executed. I'll feel good after last end after having a flash and well, 2 misses really. It's good.
That's true.
Bounce back like that. Like you said, try not to have a long memory.
That's right. You want to be like Dory the goldfish. Irene Shorty.
Great shot.
That is a great shot.
Wondering if they were going to risk
Irene's got some
it.
happy memories. Sorry to interrupt, Sam.
No, it's okay.
Irene's got some fantastic memories of Swift Current. He was part of Binia Felcher's team that won a world championship here in Swift Current in 2016.
Very fun.
Boom.
Yeah, I was interested to see if they were going to risk it and play the yellow, red, yellow. Kind of creates not quite a stagger, but close. It was a little risky. It does look like there's sitting they're sitting at least 2. Close.
And importantly, nothing in front of the rings now. All the play is in the house. Here is Irene Shorty. One of the real great people in our sport. Cancer survivor. Had a real health scare. Took her out of the game for a couple of years. But she is back, and we are so happy to see her on the ice. One of the real good people in our sport.
That's awesome. Got to be one of the best feelings to be able to come back after a battle like that, to be able to play the sport you love. And this is coming up light.
Really, anything in front ring is going to be usable, though. But starting to run out of rocks here in this end.
Unfortunately, this is pretty makeable double and get rid of all the yellows. They're calling it the right way too. You have to make it off the back one. You touch the top one first, you have a pretty good chance of jamming on that back red one. So another great call.
Like pretty much where they've got the stick, really, isn't it? That's where they'd like to make contact if they can. For fans of Team Fujisawa, we talked about the big upweight clearing ability of Yumi Suzuki and Shinami Yoshida. And Satsuki Fujisawa, if you're a fan of her, she's been competing in fitness and bodybuilding competition. She's got incredible strength. And there they go. Terrific. clinical shot there from Satsuki Fujisawa. That's what we're more accustomed to seeing from her. Great shot.
Yeah, no mistake. Does leave a stagger, gives Team Jaeggi a little bit of hope. You can put this in the back forefoot where that slash run back is more difficult. That's probably where they want to put it.
Yeah, reached the point in the game where you have to treat rocks in the 8-foot as guards.
Yeah, sure.
Fighting to stay alive here.
Yeah, not only in the game, but in the tournament, really. 2 losses, I imagine, is the max to try to make playoffs. So,
No, that's true. Team Jaeggi coming into this game, losses to Robin Silvernagel and Kayla Skrillik. So if they were to suffer a third loss here, could mean their quarterfinal hopes disappear as well. That one over curls, bumps the stone into the 8-foot.
yeah, that's a really hard draw. You're in a new path out in the weeds. You don't really know what weight to throw. You don't know how much it's going to curl. It's a tough shot. So
it's kind of an embarrassment of riches now for Satsuki Fujisawa. You've probably got about 3 or 4 places that you could put this stone that make things awkward for Michele Jaeggi on her last.
Yeah, you can put a full 8-foot, make them play the hit and roll for one, or in my opinion, put it right where they just tapped, right on the top button, half buried. Be really hard for Team Jaeggi to score if you make that.
Looking at it from the delivery end, it is pretty tempting just to take away the path on the outturn side of the 4-foot, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where does Michele Jaeggi go? She would have to play a tap on her own almost to score.
It will be the only shot if this is made, is the tap on the yellow. And probably only making it for confidence-wise, because going 4 without, you're probably shaking after this. But
yeah, I think that's highly probable. Just dialing in what kind of weight they want to throw.
I was going to mention, I really like how the sweepers come down to see where they need to put the rock. Slide back and they know the exact time they need to give their skip or any information. It's really great communicating.
Suzuki and Yoshida seem pretty happy with the weight. Now they've got decent line to hide a corner around.
Pretty great.
And that sits covering the pin. And a good corner of it buried. So a very tough final shot coming up now for Michele Jaeggi. Up against it to score.
Not for one.
And to score one, she's going to have to move this rock. Well, a good foot anyways. That stone, you can see it's at least a third buried. So she's going to have to really flirt with that stone in the 8-foot to make here.
Yeah, it's a really weight-sensitive shot. Throw back 4, back 8 weight. And you can even throw T-line, let your sweepers do the work for you and get the tap made. So, that's the rock.
Final shot on its way for Michele Jaeggi. Facing a bundle.
Just calling heavy early.
Sweeping for curl now. Getting better, but is it going to get there enough? Flips, spills, and that will stick around for a single point. So, point on the board for Michele Jaeggi, and now the discussion, are they going to continue? We will wait before we go to break just in case they decide to concede the game here, but closing it up to 4.
Like they're going to keep playing.
Don't see any sign yet that they're going to concede. Team Fujisawa just having a chat. A long discussion here for Team Jaeggi. So what do? Do we keep going? Or do we call it a day here? See some shoulder shrugs. Nope, that will be it. So Team Jaeggi deciding that that 4-point deficit was just too much to climb with 2 ends to play. So Team Fujisawa claim an 8-4 victory here in Swift Current, and that takes them to 3-0 here at the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
Yeah, great game. Not a lot of misses by Team Fujisawa, and did what they needed to do to get the W.
So that'll wrap it up here in our game here in Swift Current. Hans Fraunla, Sam Steep, join us again. We've got lots more curling for you here from Swift Current. So thanks for joining us, and we will see you again from Swift Current.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.